What up, mortals? Cine here. Got a story to share. It is currently 1:31 p.m. at the Rift, and it's also officially January. It's 2026. So, welcome to the new year. Happy New Year's. I hope you guys had like some safe holidays. Did something cool. I don't know if any of you guys out there do any like traditions or whatever, but for me, usually I just go let out a big old wolf howl like right at midnight. So I did that, but this year I also decided to like mix it up a little bit. I like to, test limits within the game, but also just as a person and a human. So I have like a bunch of like weighted stuff that I wear, like a weight vest and baloney, whatever. And so this year I decided to like wear all of that. And I did a handstand while holding up that weight, so I could kind of like flip the script, on last year, because last year was like a pretty challenging year. It was a good transformation type of year, but it's pretty challenging, just in life and whatever. So I decided to flip the script and then let off all that weight that I had been carrying from the year before, And it's kind of funny too, because like I tried to time it with the episode of Friends where they all have like a New Year's celebration, and right at midnight, at least I thought, I was timing it for when Joey and Chandler do like their little fucking, their little dance or whatever. And it turned out actually to be the episode where Joey kisses his dream girl at midnight. So I don't know if that's like, like it's like good omen or just, I don't know what that's all about, but it ended up being kind of funny. So that's what I did. But anyway, the whole point of this video is actually to say hi. My name is Cine, and last year I started off I started my very first year shiny hunting, like as an official like shiny hunter. You know what I mean? Because previously, like throughout all of my games, I'd always like been pretty decently blessed. I'd say like for pretty much each game I played, I had like some shiny on my team. My very first one, most iconic one to me, was my Noctowl, and that was in my gold version. I found him right above Mahogany Town, like right before or after Red Gyarados. I can't remember if it was before or after. Like it would be way more crazy for sure if it was before the Red Gyarados, because it's like, whoa, I got a shiny before the ultimate shiny. Like like before learning the shiny thing. But I probably found it after, because I remember when I did find it, I was really confused, and I didn't know if like I was supposed to find that. It was like, because I thought it was like a scripted event because of the Red Gyarados type of vibe, like I thought it was just Ash's Noctowl, like you just find that in the wild or whatever. So child innocence and all that, but that was my first shiny ever, and it was actually kind of funny too, like because my other friend, I had gold, he had silver, and so I remember asking him, I was like, yo, did you get Ash's Noctowl, like or whatever, because we were like comparing our games, and he was like, no, like what are you talking about? And so I thought it was like a regular event you're supposed to get, and I kind of was thinking like, I'm like, is this a shiny Pokemon? I remember being really confused, but we started comparing things, as like kids do or whatever. And so he showed me his Skarmory. He's like, yeah, but do you have this? And I was like, oh man, I don't have that. And I was actually like mad jealous of that Skarmory, and so it was kind of funny because in our little like child war or whatever, like I was actually extremely jealous of that Skarmory. I was thankful to have my Noctowl, but we just chalked it up to being a version difference, like an exclusive, which is really hilarious to think about, but whatever. So that was like the first shiny I ever got, and then in Gen 3, it wasn't until I think it was my Ruby playthrough, because that was the first game where I ever completed the whole dex. Like, oh man, I nerded out on that game, and it was a freaking Tentacool. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but I had a Tentacool in my Ruby version, and then I found a Spearow in Fire Red. One sec. Kobe, what you want? Minor interruption from Doggo. Shouts to Doggo. So, where was I? Oh yeah, I had a Spearow in my Fire Red, and I don't think I had anything in Gen 4. I can't remember. So I think I missed out on that gen. I played the hell out of that. That was when I started to learn about like natures and competitive and all that stuff. So I was more into all that anyway. But I had those, and then in Gen 5 I had a Joltik that I found in my black version. But yeah, basically I've always pretty much had like, you know, something on my team, a member of my team that's been a shiny Pokemon, and that's just so cool, you know, to feel like blessed like that. But at the time, you know, when I was younger, I didn't really like appreciate them as much because Noctowl I did, but I didn't really know what I had, right? But I had like Tentacool and Spearow, you know, like super common Pokemon. I wasn't really like that thrilled about it. I was like, oh man, like I finally got one, oh my god, a shiny. But it was like a Tentacool, you know. I'm like, man, like I'm not like that much of a Tentacool fan. And like Spearow, I was like, he's just a boring ass basic bird, you know what I mean? And I didn't even like the Fearow shiny. Like actually, China Spearow is pretty dope. You know, they're the golden bird or whatever. But yeah, so I didn't really like appreciate them that much at the time. But like looking back, you know, I'm like super thankful to just have them. And so anyway, fast forward a bit, like, you know, obviously now I know all about shinies. I know about like competitive and like getting good Pokemon and raising them and like all of this stuff. And so I was never actually like a dedicated hunter, but a couple years ago, like I think it was 2021 or something like that. Maybe it's 2020, but I had ordered a crystal cartridge to, you know, relive some of my childhood memories or whatever and play the game again. I did it on a Japanese cart to get a bit of a different vibe, and so a whole bunch of weird kind of spooky things happened where like I got like a weird ID number, this and that. I actually I made a video on it like a few years ago when it all happened. It's a little outdated now. I don't know if I want to upload it or not on this channel, but you know, if anyone wants to check it out, like just let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'll upload that. You know, it'd be kind of cool to see a before and a now type of thing. But yeah, I found a shiny Kakuna in that, and like to a lot of people, it's just this like boring, you know, middle evolution. No one really cares about it. No one really even likes like Beedrill that much, or they kind of like Butterfree maybe, but like usually Butterfree's more popular. But you know, it's a pretty usually weak Pokemon. It's pretty boring. So when I found it though, I was like stoked. I'm like, man, I just found like a random full odds shiny Pokemon in the bug catching contest. This is so hype. And because of that, I have decided that now I wanted to actually, you know, do a little bit of shiny hunting, like intentionally in the game, and kind of just max out my crystal, like make the dream cartridge I always wish I could have as a kid type of thing. And so through doing that, I actually ended up like finding the shiny hunting community, because I think I found, what did I do? I found this Discord server, and I was kind of floating in and out, you know what I mean? Like, I was definitely in the server a few years ago, and I would like come in once in a while and join the conversation, say a couple things here and there, but I was never really like an active member, and I kind of only ever did like, you know, maybe an egg or two in Crystal, because that's kind of the plan now for the first half, I guess. I have a whole plan for my Crystal cartridge. But yeah, so more on that later. But yeah, I found the Discord server, and I wasn't really active that much. But through it, like, you know, it's kind of corny and all that stuff, but I found like a really cool community. And so I just kind of got entrenched in that and started hanging out a little bit more and being around more. And eventually it kind of rubbed off where I'm like, you know what? Like, let me like do this. Let me make a bingo and like, let me like chill. And so I didn't actually make my bingo card until like October last year or something. So, you know, I didn't really get that full vibe, but, or like the experience from the very beginning, I should say. But man, like, it's been fun, but I missed and failed pretty much all of my targets. Like, I totally didn't hit anything, basically. Like, I technically got 3 spaces of my bingo, I guess, maybe. But I had already found my shiny Bulbasaur, which was like amazing. I got that in like 20 something, 30 something resets, which is insane, by the way. And I'll probably make my own little journal entry video on that, because it's this old thing. But that I already caught that, and so I had placed that on my bingo because it was something I had set out to get as a target, but I never made the bingo sheet, you know what I mean? So I kind of gave myself a free space in a way. So it's like you can count that or you don't want to, it's up to you. But then I got my ZA Mega, like exclusive Mega from ZA. And so that was Dragonite. I got a shiny Alpha Dratini. That was, really lucky. It took me probably 6 hours straight of farming and running around and grinding. But I did find it, and I phased a lot on other Mons, but the Dratini itself, when it shined, was the Alpha. So I got really lucky on that one. So I hit that, and there's another one I'm forgetting. I gotta go check that. I hit a couple things, I guess, off of my bingo, but like I was flying through the seat of my pants, like, oh my god, there's Safari Week. I didn't know about this. Okay, let me try and catch a Safari Pokemon. I went for Poliwag, and I didn't catch Poliwag or any phases, nothing at all in the Safari Zone. And I'm like, oh my god, now there's Game Corner, and then I'm like, I didn't even have time to really prep for this, so like, I didn't actually really hunt anything in the Game Corner, so I missed on that. And then it was like, oh my god, now it's fishing week. I'm like, dude, what is going on? I'm never ready for these things. Fishing week was cool though, because I did hit one of the targets I had gone for, which was also a shiny Dratini.
I'm leaving this whole clip, I don't even care. Oh, dude, look at her. Oh, it's so dope. I can't believe I found that.
But that was through chain fishing in X and Y, and chain fishing's cool. I actually might do a little bit more of it. But like for me, increasing the odds like crazy, it kind of loses a little bit of its charm. Like, like in ZA, you can like, minor spoilers, heads up by the way, but you can go into like hyperspace, make a crazy cracked out donut, and then you can probably farm shinies really easily, right? Like I don't really use the sparkling power or anything like that. I kind of just raw dog it with like maybe alpha power or whatever I'm looking for, but I don't use the shiny stuff. But anyway, you can really like get a lot of easy shinies, and same with like Scarlet and Violet and stuff through sandwiches, and that's chill. Like I ain't got no problem with that. But for me personally, it just feels more rewarding when it's kind of like a tougher hunt and like higher odds or lower odds, I guess. So I didn't really expect to feel much from that, but actually, it was cool. I'm like, man, I got my Dratini and I phased one time. Like, that's actually, I should really appreciate that, because I know some people, like, I know someone actually in the fishing week was looking for a Dratini, and I think they phased like 25 times or something. So, but yeah, so fishing week was cool. But what I really wanted though was the Gyarados in Gen 3. So I had been fishing in my Leaf Green in Vermilion City looking for the Gyarados, and I just sort of did the chain fishing thing to try it out because I'd never done that before. But it was sort of like a side thing, right? I'm like, okay, like the odds are really good, like I'll probably be able to get something, so at least I can contribute to the fishing week. But what I really want is that like red Gyarados, the Vermilion Gyarados from Vermilion City, right? And plus, I want to name it my iconic name with Magic Kush, right? And so anyway, basically, so I pretty much missed out on all the, I didn't miss out on the events, but I pretty much failed everything. And then come October, I had planned on like really locking in and going for what I call the pumpkin patch, which I'm sure has been done before by a lot of people, but I wanted to get every size of Pumpkaboo in my sword and do it all in October, right? So they got like the spooky October capture day. Like, that's cool. I love ghost types, like ghost and dark and poison and steel. Just homie's gonna list all the types now, but those are my 4 favorite types, especially ghost and dark. So I really wanted to do that, and then oh my god, ZA came out and I just got so derailed with that whole game. Like, it's a goated game, it won't be for everybody, that's cool. Like, you don't gotta like it, no worries, right? But I got obsessed, like really obsessed. played the hell out of this. Like every single chance I could get, you know, I was playing that and like nothing else. So I farmed a lot in that game. I really enjoy it. Now I've pretty much got all the way through the DLC, and I'm like at a little bit left of the post. You know, like there's just some legends I gotta go hunt and stuff. But now I'm like chilling a bit on that. So. But yeah, that really derailed me. So I kind of failed my pumpkin patch thing I had. I missed pretty much all my targets on all the events going on throughout the year. So my plan for this year is just to be prepared, and like now I have like a more of an idea of what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I made a new bingo for this year. So without further ado, this is it. We can take a look at it together. So as you can see, I did replace some of the targets that I'd hit last year, and then I do have a lot of my old bingo sheet here, but I did add some new ones too. I actually found my old copy of Diamond, and it's been really fun to replay that. I actually just love Gen 4, and so I started getting obsessed with the honey trees, and so I'm going to be looking for the good old lax, little munch lax there, the homie. And maybe as like a side piece, I might even, you know, hunt some more of the other honey tree mons. But quick note on my diamond playthrough, because I remember restarting that way back. Like my file was from 2014, and I always pick the male trainer, right? Because to me it feels kind of weird just not to do that, and so I kind of wanted to mix it up. I guess like 2014 Cine was like, yo, let's flip the script, let's do something different. And so I picked the female trainer, but yeah, I made her as obnoxious as possible, naming her Candy with like a freaking smiley face, and it worked because I hate it. But it's a file from 2014, so I kind of want to keep it around, you know. So I'm just gonna play with it. But yeah, so I'm gonna be looking for some honey tree shinies. The Munchlax is my target, and then we replaced Bulbasaur with one of the Soul Silver starters. My bias is for Cyndaquil, but I'll take any of them. It's cool. Because I did pick up Soul Silver this year. I finally locked down a copy. Oh my god, it's so hard to find those games. So I'm really looking forward to that. But overall, like I kind of just want to get back to my roots, which is the early gens. So I kind of have like a Gen 1 to 4 type of thing going on here, with obviously some other things. Like I gotta hit my pumpkin patch. I gotta try this year, you know. I want to grab that Axew from its location, like the Axew's Eye. I just think that'd be hype. I missed out on that last year, which all started because I found out about the wanted hunts and on Reddit. So one of the months was Axew, and I'm like, oh, where do I find that in Sword? And instead of breeding it, right? I was like, oh, that's where you get it. And then I never hit that target, so that's why he's there. I just think it'd be really dope. But yeah, there's a lot of early gen stuff, you know. Team Skull is gonna be kind of like a gen quest, because Duskull is one of my favorite Pokemon. So I want to catch a Duskull in all the games that I own that it's huntable, which right now is only like 5 games, I think. So it's not crazy, but I plan on getting XD, or at least removing the shiny lock in that game, because I think that's how you get Duskull. Like you can shiny hunt it without the lock. Because I've never played XD, only Coliseum. So, but if I can do that, then I'm probably gonna try my first Ribbon Master with Duskull from XD. I think that'd be really hype. You can get all the ribbons if you get it from there. So that's what Team Skull is. And then, oh my god, the Celadon Pond Grimer. Guys, I need to get that. I don't know what it is about this like tiny little pile of sludge, but I love him. He's just so dope. He's so goofy. And he's a 1% encounter when you're fishing in Celadon Pond with the Super Rod. So I'm in it for the long haul. Like I don't expect to get this year, especially with if I do anything else like with my life and hunting. Like it's gonna be tough. But I am trying to get that. That's probably like my that's like the crown jewel. I really want to get that, which is hilarious to say, but I'm looking for that. There's the Noctowl, the Child Shiny. I'm gonna hunt it in the spot that I found it, because I remember like the patch of grass. It's just above Mahogany Town and before the Lake of Rage. I'm pretty sure that it's the whole route, but I want to go for that. trying to catch the roamers and all this. Like, oh, yeah, I was gonna say, and not like it's a crazy shiny or whatever, but this is gonna be the year of the horse, and in particular, it's the fire horse. And so I wanted to get a Rapidash actually, but considering how tough some of these hunts are, especially for me as a new hunter, I decided to pick something that seemed a bit more reasonable, especially since I'm playing my Diamond. I'm playing Gen 4. I've never used the radar before to hunt with, so I'm going to go for Shiny Ponyta, and I'm really excited about that, because the radar seems like a pretty cool method, and I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, that's my bingo. Oh yeah, the big ghost, that's right. I wanted to mention this. So previously, that was my ZA Mega spot, and I was going to keep it as like a claim to space, because I got Dragonite pretty late in the year, but I was just like, you know what? I should just go for a whole new thing. And ZA isn't like especially crazy to hunt it anyway, so let me just throw in a new space. And so that was actually my first target that I've already hit now, which is going to be, it's just an alpha Mega Gengar. You know, he's dope. I love that Pokemon. And yeah, I got that on the very first day actually, and it seems like an easy thing to get, and truly it probably is. But like I said, I don't use any like crazy odds on my donuts or nothing. And I was doing fly resets trying to catch this shiny alpha Ghastly, and I phased like 18 or 19 times. It was actually ridiculous. I'm like, come on, game, what's going on here? Like, this was supposed to be the chill space. You know, what the hell is this? And it wasn't until my very last reset, genuinely, like, I kind of wish I was recording or something, just to, you know, I'm like, oh my god, you know, I had like 30 seconds left or 30 ticks left or whatever on my donut. But I finally got that. And so it was a really nice way to start the new year, you know what I mean? It feels rewarding. I'm like, oh, I actually got a space off of my bingo. And shouts to Enub or Enoob or Ynoob. How do I say your name? Because this is kind of hilarious, but I didn't really think about this until now while I'm recording. And you can have like some of the best conversations with someone online, and you guys can chill and like have some good back and forth. But then you realize you don't even know how to pronounce their name. You know what I mean? Like, I've been saying Ynoob for the better half of like 8 months or whatever, something like that. So I know they're probably going to be like shaking their fist at me for that, but please tell me how I actually pronounce your name. So I'm not a noob, okay? But yeah, shouts to Ynoob, shouts to Enub, Anubis, because they helped me evolve my Haunter when I got it. So big shouts to you, really appreciate you. Also shouts to everyone else in the Shiny Hunting Discord. Like, everyone's like so chill. It's one of my favorite places to hang out. I think I spend probably the most time in that Discord now. And yeah, it also is a good way to stay motivated, you know what I mean? Like, just seeing everyone else hunting, chilling, talking, whatever, it makes me want to get back in the game and keep on going on my own hunts, you know? Because it's not always about really just like sharing the most prestigious, craziest, freaking sparkly creature you've found in your game. It's more about sharing your victory with someone, right? And just having that experience, you know, like where if I go, please never, but if I go like 30,000 resets or something and I go over odds or whatever on a mon, and someone else also has gone over odds, we're suffering together, you know what I mean? And anyone else has also probably been over odds if they're, you know, like been around or they're seasoned. So it's something you can share with each other and, you know, share those experiences. So just big shout outs to the Shiny Hunting community. You guys are awesome. And actually, I'll leave a little link in the description. I'm sure anyone watching this is probably already from there or knows about it, but feel free to hop in. You know, it's a really chill community. So there's a lot of cool people in there. And yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm gonna wrap it up. Basically, like for this year, I'm just trying to lock in. I'm just trying to lock the fuck in and hit a couple targets and just get some wins. You know what I mean? So if you got this far, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. This one, I'm kind of just yelling at the camera, so hopefully that's cool, and you can just put me on somewhere in the background and chill, do whatever you're doing. Maybe you're hunting even. So I'll probably do a little bit more like video and stuff for like my next ones, with some gameplay and whatnot and some recordings. But I just kind of wanted to share my year, my first year as a shiny hunter, because technically, you could say I started off when I was playing that Crystal playthrough after getting Kakuna. And like, you'd be right, but I really took a massive break and I didn't really feel like I could say I'm a hunter until last year when I really tried for it. So this year, I'm hoping for some good things, some good victories, and may the odds always be in your favor. Peace.